to ABL Hot Corner, brought to you by Viva. I'm Brook, Kilpatrick, and with me is Jamie Kloeden, and let's go around the horn for round 3. Kloeden, lead it off with the Adelaide Perth Heat Series.
Adelaide taking on Perth. Adelaide went over there and came back with a 3-1 series win, which is, well, over the years you would have thought that was a massive result. Maybe early in the season I think they're still trying to find their feet, who's where on the ladder, but traditionally that's unheard of.
Big win for the boys over at Barbagallo, no doubt about it, and we weren't too far away from getting the chocolates apart from a fantastic outing once again by Tom Bailey.
Yeah, he's been fantastic. I've missed a lot of bats, racking up the strikeouts. He's been a clear standout for him, so that's pretty good.
Bats were pretty hot for the bye. Max McNabb obviously getting it done on the hill, which took a lot again. The kid on the hill was really good.
He's been amazing.
He's been fantastic. And we had Ladarius Clark. Ladarius. It's not a bad name, is it?
It's a great name. It's very much a lead-off hitter name.
Yeah, absolutely.
He sounds like he should be stealing bases with that name, and he is. He's really been a spike player at the top of the lineup.
Josh Altman, Carl Hosky, racked up some hits, and of course Mitch Denning had an absolutely magnificent series.
He's been huge back to come back into this lineup. Been a really big addition for the side.
A couple of close games, and Matt Williams at the end of a couple really shut the door, and he started coming to his own really well this year, Matty.
Yeah, well, I think with Matty firing again, like he has for years now, and the big 7-foot Luke Van Mill, the two of them, if they combine at the end of the bullpen, similar to what Brisbane still have, but last year especially with Timms and Searle, a dominant bullpen. I mean, we saw what happened to them last year, shows what it can do. So if those two guys can keep firing, keep throwing well,
absolutely
massive.
Yeah, I think Matty Williams only threw one bad pitch for the whole series, and it went about 400 feet from Luke Hughes. It launched it and kept the heat in the game, but luckily the boys kept it going.
And the way Luke Hughes is going this year, he won't be the last homer he hits.
Hitting well, isn't he? Like after a couple of pretty lean seasons by his own standards, lofty standards.
Yeah, well, we all know what he's capable of. So
he's been fantastic.
Off the fly, next series over in Melbourne, those hot aces.
The aces roll on, took down the Cavs 3-1, and wasn't far away from the sweep. The Cavs took game 4.
Well, we spoke last week about the Cavs. Obviously, their offense has been insane to start the year. The story of Melbourne has been, good offense, but dominant pitching. And as it turns out, good pitching beats good hitting.
I think we kind of mentioned that there might be the end of the massive run fest from the Cavalry once they ran into the buzzsaw that is the Melbourne Aces pitching.
With your favourite player, just calming up still.
The Honda Hamburger combination, getting it done again, and Dushan Ruzi, of course, pitching pretty well as well, had a good game, and John Kennedy's even come into his own as the number 4 guy. He's pitched pretty well as well.
He's given up the AFL coaching from the 80s.
Has given up the coaching.
And he's
put the trench coat away. Trench coat away. Brought the ball with him to pivot, and those boys look really good.
And hasn't Ruzi been a good addition too for bringing him essentially out of retirement? Pitching club ball in Adelaide.
A bit of a different look. He throws that sort of hard side piece action, and he's pretty hard to get away.
There's not too many others around like him, so that's that point of difference. And I mean, we know he'll pitch all day. We've seen that over the years. So he's been a huge addition, just a big innings eater for him.
There's just no easy game when you come up against the Aces. All those 4 guys have pitched really well.
That's right, yeah. And offensively, still, like I say, the pitching's been dominant, but the offense is still ticking and getting it done.
The big kahuna, Ronnie Acuna, continues to steal bases, hit a couple of home runs. He's been an all-round sensational player.
And we mentioned him last week too, the young fella Jared Dale, sitting down in the 9-hole. Pretty handy guy to have him down the bottom of the lineup. Very handy. Mike Walker, Liam Bedford, a couple of guys really hitting it well, and just some good offense all round. The team as a whole is just doing very well right now. They're just all clicking.
Yeah, for the Cavalry, not too much to take out of the series, but Josh DeGraaf had a good outing on the hill. Sean Guinard as well, looked pretty good. So if they can get their pitching back together, Zach Lemon, another guy that looked alright, they really need to get the arms going to sort of complement those big bats.
They have that. I mean, they've got a lot of arms floating around now. They're just, I guess, going to have to find that consistent mix of who's going to be their regular starters, who's going to be their go-to guys in the bullpen. And if they can find the mix to go with those big bats, Big Boss and all the other Candelars and there's a million of them.
Yeah.
All the Perkins, everyone called Perkins.
The Perkinses.
They're all on fire. So if they can find that balance there, they're going to be. Well, these two teams might be top of the pops all year.
It's an interesting scenario, that's for sure. And finally, we had the Blue Sox against the Brisbane Bandits at Blacktown, and we had a 2-2 split.
Yeah. Fair bit to like about both teams, really, isn't there?
I think so. Yeah.
That pitching for the Blue Sox is still looking pretty good. Brisbane's starting to get a few things clicked together, so a split for this series is probably fair enough, really.
Yeah, I think so. I think Brisbane haven't quite hit their straps yet. They look the goods really early in the season, but they're. I think they're starting pitching. Teasley hasn't been at his best from what we've seen of him before. Erasmus had a really good outing on the weekend, but they haven't sort of put it all together in the same series since Series 1.
Yeah, and as I mentioned before, their bullpen is still pretty formidable with Timms and Searle at the back end. It's just
Reece Nick had a really good few innings on the weekend too, which they get those three guys up to the best that they can be. They're pretty hard to stop.
Their best is good. Their best is very real good. Yeah.
Searle's obviously just been lights out again. He was just throwing frisbees again on the weekend and guys couldn't touch him.
Yeah, strike out master. And then offensively for them too. Donald Lutz back in the lineup too.
Big Donald Lutz just added another nice big bat there. Whitefield's obviously had a very good season so far, and that complements what they've got already, which obviously Logan Wade and
they've got a good mix of the big boppers, the guys like Whitefield, the Stetson bags at the top of the lineup. They have got a bit of everything. So,
they really do.
Yeah,
really do. Like we said, who's the other guy that Kramer Champlin had a pretty good outing as well.
Not Cosmo.
Not Cosmo Kramer. Not the. No, I can't say that. Can you say ass man? I don't know. I probably can't.
We can.
Okay, I think we just did. But Kramer Champlin had a good outing. So those guys, they'll be looking for some better outings consistently from their starters.
And that's what it is, consistency.
To get to those guys at the back end. For Sydney, obviously Luke Workman's really good again.
He just keeps rolling, doesn't he?
Yep. And so their rotation looks good. And of course they've just added Chrissy Oxspring, who's come back to have a bit of a piff, which we'll speak about in a minute, but they're looking pretty good.
It's funny when you talk about all the youngsters in the league that we've been mentioning each week, these 16-year-olds, a 15-year-old carving up, and you've got Oxspring and Anderson in the starting rotation.
Just add the Ox to Ando just to balance things out a little bit.
Solid veteran presence right there.
No, it's good to see. Obviously, a couple of guys that were really good offensively for Sydney. Malik Collymore, who's been good all season. He had a massive series again. And on top of that, we had Alex Howard, had a big Johnson that walk-off that won him the game.
Yeah, nothing beats a walk-off, does it?
Nothing beats a walk-off. The crowd was going nuts, which was fantastic. So, speaking of the walk-off, we'll be back in just a couple of minutes. We'll be talking our stories of the round close.
We will.
Take it from me, one punch can be lethal. Thrown in anger like this, without warning, without any gloves, it can be deadly. One punch can end his life and ruin yours. It takes grunt to throw it, it takes guts to walk away.
So, stories of the round for this week. What did you see as your biggest story?
The biggest story for me is the Aces flying.
Unbelievable.
Home, away, wherever. Playing 7-game win streak going at the moment.
Had a 7-game win streak, shut down, but they've just been fantastic. And certainly the pick of the bunch.
And your man again. I keep harping back on it, but you've been talking about it for years.
Well, we had a power outage the other night, and that didn't stop the hamburger from cooking, I can tell you. The hamburger kept cooking, the power was off. He'd already thrown a couple of digs, come back out, what do you know? The hamburger just rolls out of the tin again and just keeps dealing. So he's pretty resilient as well as being very talented.
Yeah. And of course, we've mentioned this as well, but walk-off home is one of the best things in baseball to get the excitement levels going, and Alex Howe delivered that.
The 9-8 win, sensational. Return to the Ox, very big obviously for Sydney. He's been everywhere, the Ox.
Yes, and I just, again, if nothing else, just that veteran presence there to help these young guys go along as well, while still dealing himself.
Such a good pitcher, such a level-headed guy.
One of the filthiest curveballs I ever saw.
He'll be able to teach a hell of a lot of stuff to those young kids. Talking of additions, probably the biggest addition we've seen in the ABL for quite a while.
Very much so.
Jeremy Guthrie just signed a bit of a contract with the Melbourne Aces.
Yeah, still hunting around for a job in the big leagues only months ago, and suddenly he finds himself down here pitching in Melbourne. I mean, what a coup for the Aces. It's unbelievable.
Sees it as a bit of a audition for himself to get out here and throw a few digs and put his name up there to try and get back in the majors.
Yeah, well, he's been a very solid major leaguer for a long time now. Pitching in the postseason.
World Series 2014.
Earning a little bit of coin along the way.
A couple of starts, nothing, nothing to be sneezing at.
No.
2014 World Series.
It's that Royals, obviously.
Royals,
so
Kansas City Royals.
He's got himself a bit of bling to show his teammates down here at the ring.
Yeah, probably bring a bit of bling along for the boys, but I think last contract was almost worth about just a lazy $9 million. So, probably taking a tad pay cut to get to the Aces, because the Hamburger's going to be like gobbling up some of that money.
Well, that's it. The two guys have taken the salary cap right there, haven't they? But no, he's a huge addition, not just for the Aces, but for the league. When you've got guys with that resume behind them and the talent the guy brings, that alone will bring more people, more baseball people that follow. Will want to come out and watch his starts and see what he can offer. So it's a real coup for the ABL.
So some pretty big stories all around this week, guys.
Oh yeah, been a great weekend of baseball.
All right, stick with us. We'll be back shortly, and we'll be having our tweets of the week. Okay, Kloeden, so tweets of the week with the added sound effects, which are tweeting in the background.
And have been for the last half hour or so.
Unbelievable. Okay, so kicking it off, my first tweet comes from Mark Clapp, who's a massive Bandit fan. And he's dropped in without Ryan Searle. The Brisbane Bandits were 0-4, but with him, they are 6-3. I hope he doesn't have any more friends getting married. The big dog. Because obviously when he was away, things weren't going too well.
No, but it shows how important he is, doesn't it?
Also shows that Clatsy's all over it.
We knew that, didn't we?
Absolutely.
He's a prominent tweeter.
Prominent tweeter. Who else you got?
David Penrose writes, Jack O'Loughlin strikes out Ulrich Bojarski. There's one to watch for all the Tigers fans. The Detroit connection there with the two youngsters.
Of course, talking about Detroit, both kids signed with Detroit, and Jack getting better of that battle on the weekend.
Certainly did, but geez, two pretty good prospects that they've got performing well over here.
David Penrose does some pretty good work too on the ABL here, so follow him if you're not already. One I got from the Brisbane Bandits, I pretty much picked this one because it had an awesome picture to go with it, and it was Kramer Champlin doing what Kramer Champlin does, a 1-2-3 inning with back-to-back strikeouts. Bandits 3-0 Sox, and it's got an awesome gear from the man himself, Kramer from Seinfeld.
Just loving it. Just loving it. Now we're talking about Cosmo Kramer.
Cosmo Kramer. Cool. And finally?
Final one from the Sydney Blue Sox themselves, Mount Clutchmore. Malik Collymore was voted our player of the series in the Bandits versus Blue Sox series.
So we're pretty much loving that, Mount Clutchmore. We're pretty happy with that.
I think we can work with that.
So that's it for this week, but keep tweeting, get on it, get on our page, ABL Hot Corner, tweet us up, and maybe yours will be on here next week.
The more the merrier, because you don't miss too many.
Don't miss too many. Stand by, because coming up we've got an interview with none other than Adelaide Bite's own Devon Barker. Okay, I'm here with Devon Barker from the Adelaide Bite, and we're going to talk about Devon's career and how things are going down at Biteland. Devon, welcome to ABL Hot Corner.
Thank you very much. Good to be here.
Excellent, mate. Now, the first things first, how did you get here to the Adelaide Bite originally?
Brook Knight, I played for him in Corvallis for 2 seasons, and I knew he coached down here, so quite the contact to have, I guess. And he shot out some emails for me, and the rest is is history.
The rest is history. Now the Corvallis Knights, that's an independent league?
No, it's a competitive summer league for colleges.
Okay.
So when I'm in my college off season, I went down there, and it started out as a tryout thing, and made the team, and I was there for 2 years.
Excellent. Now between Corvallis and coming to Adelaide, you had a bit of a hiatus, is that right?
Yeah, I did take about a year and a half, 2 years off of baseball. Just worked a little bit and tried to figure it out, and then found my love for the game again.
Excellent. So how did you find it coming back after a bit of a break last year? It must have been pretty tough.
Yeah, it was tough, but I had about 3 months to prepare, really. Once I had official confirmation I was coming back out here, I had about 3 months and really dialed it back in. And it was a bit of an adjustment, but I got back into it pretty easy.
Excellent. Now this year, things are going pretty well. You've got 7 strikeouts in 5 innings that you've pitched, and you seem to be throwing it pretty well. Have you made any different adjustments from this year that you had to last year when you were here?
Yeah, actually I did make an adjustment specifically to right-handed batters. Now I have a little bit slower of a windup. I'm in a little bit more control, and I added a split finger instead of a changeup.
Okay, so you've added a split to the arsenal.
Yeah.
Very nice indeed. And who on the bite, or since you've been here, has been your sort of biggest influences as far as your pitching goes, or as just playing?
I would say Steve Chambers. He's a great guy, and he's a great leader. He always talks to me, and if I have any questions about any situations or anything, he's the first guy I'll go to. Also, Mr. Lee. Mr. Lee kind of being the same pitcher that I am.
He's been around a while.
Different deliveries, and he's done it before, so he's another guy that I talk to a lot.
That's excellent. Okay. Now, I've got to ask you this. I've been looking at your stats from the local league where you play for Henley and Grange, and I did notice when my eyes were cast away from your pitching, and I saw you were hitting 379, and you're actually leading the team in hitting. So, in fact, you're out hitting Landon Hernandez, who, is an ex-ABLer. So, why aren't you hitting? Have you had a word to Mitzi?
No, not yet. I don't know if I'm going to go down that route. No, I credit that to Switzerland. When I was back playing in Switzerland last season, I had to hit every day, and kind of took over that.
You
way.
enjoy swinging the lumber?
Yeah, it's a challenge. I love it. I love every second of it. It challenges me, and it's tough. It makes me a better pitcher too, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, I'll have a word to Mitzi, and just on the slide,
if you could
just see if he can get you in there, just to have a bit of a hack. Because I think Jack O'Loughlin hits pretty well in the local league for Port as well. So
yes,
maybe maybe you boys can just sneak in for a couple of bats here and
just drop the DH maybe a couple games.
DH is overrated, but everyone knows that. Now. We've got to sort of wrap this up with a question about, as you know, I'm a massive fan of the stirrup socks and the sock game that you bring to the ABL. How did it start, and sort of how did it develop? You always got the stirrups on, you've always got something going on.
That's right, yeah, big stirrup guy. It started at my community college. Everyone got stirrups. Our team gave them away, and ever since then, I had a pretty good season then, and ever since then I've just kind of rode with it and made it my thing, and I just have fun with it,
That's the main thing, mate. We have fun with it too. It's awesome, but you're doing a great job on the hill. What's the feeling like around the bike camp this year? You've obviously got some competition. Melbourne Aces are looking really good.
Yeah.
And obviously it's fairly even, apart from the Aces, but I think last year was obviously a 3-1 win. It puts you in good stead for the second half of the season. How's it feeling around the place?
It feels good. Obviously Canberra didn't go as well as we wanted it to last weekend, but that was just one of those weekends for us. Obviously we showed what we can do in Perth. We won 3 out of 4 and easily could have won 4 out of 4 and take 1 inning away, and we come out with a sweep. But I like our team. Our starting pitching's coming around, and we have top to bottom of the lineup is really strong. I think everyone's really excited about what we can do.
I think it's going to come down to those close games, isn't it? Like, it's winning those close ones, closing out the games when you've got those leads, because there's not much in it, is there, as far as the league goes?
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on a guy like Jeremy Guthrie coming in and playing for the Aces, like a guy who's pitched in the World Series in 2014? That must be pretty bizarre.
I love it. And I've talked to some of the guys about it too, the hitters, and they're excited for the challenge. So
excellent.
It's cool to say. I mean, you're playing in the same league as a guy who started a World Series game.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's pretty cool to say, and you know, I mean, it'd be even better if we could go out and get him.
Get to him, exactly.
That's right.
Yeah, it's a bit of a feather in the one for the pub afterwards.
That's right, absolutely.
Absolutely. Well, Devon, thanks so much for being with us on ABL Hot Corner. It's been a pleasure watching you pitch this year and do your stuff, and always a pleasure watching those fantastic salts coming out, mate. So
Always.
thanks
always.
heaps, and best of luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Excellent. That's Devon Barker from the Adelaide Bite.
This is Devin Barker from the Adelaide Bite, and you're watching ABL Hot Corner.